George McConaughey and his wife Catherine were very happy during their first year of marriage, and the birth of their son Joseph made things even better. But then young Catherine died from complications of the birth of her son, leaving George devastated. George was surprised to see Catherine's childhood friend J.N.D. Schinkel at Catherine's funeral. Schinkel was going to school to be a doctor in Chicago, and George didn't know that he was in Rochelle. The blizzard that had been expected arrived in earnest by the time the family left the cemetery, and George was glad to arrive back to the house to be with his newborn son. Little Joseph was all George had left of Catherine now. George began hearing rumors of grave robbers striking towns in the area and the bodies of loved ones being taken from their resting places and sent to medical schools in Chicago for use by the students. After several days of worrying about his dear Catherine's body being stolen from her grave, he and Catherine's father, Joseph, hired a detective to go speak to the sexton in the cemetery with them. The fears of George and Joseph were found to be true when Catherine's coffin was discovered smashed and her body gone. Authorities felt that the body snatchers must have been to the funeral since they knew exactly where to find the snow-covered grave and the tools that they borrowed from the cemetery's workshed. But the family refused to believe anyone who knew Catherine could be so heartless. Catherine's husband and father went with the police and visited each of the 5 medical schools that existed in Chicago at the time. They finally found Catherine at the Chicago Homeopathic Medical College, where students had worked on her body, leaving extensive damage. When news broke that authorities had Catherine's childhood friend Schinkel and another medical student in custody for the deed, neighbors and friends were shocked. The trial was moved to Rockford, where both men were acquitted. J.N.D. Schinkel returned to medical school and in due course became a doctor. When Schinkel died 20 years later, the papers didn't talk of all the people that he had helped as a doctor, but they all mentioned the fact that he had been accused of betraying a family who had once thought the best of him. He's buried in the same cemetery in Rochelle as Catherine.